What common errors are made by rookie teams? Here is another one. Lack of playtest. Hi, my name is Pascal Lubin. I'm a game designer with over 30 years of experience, and I'm here to share with you what I have learned throughout my career. Now, playtest. Today, everyone agrees on their importance, and yet many studios don't pay enough attention to them. There are many reasons. Lack of time to organize them, lack of know-how, but above all, lack of visions on the part of project managers who, more often than not, have never had the opportunity to benefit from good playtests. And playtests are amazing. They help improve the game system, adapt it to its audience, make the game more understandable, improve onboarding and long-term retention, refine settings, balance them for multiplayer modes, and create a more readable and richer level design. This is why game and level designers must be aware of their importance and must request them. Playtests are not used to judge their work. Designers should use them to improve their work. This is why they should request them. Now, to illustrate the impact of playtesting on the game's quality, here is another real-life situation I experienced during my assignment on the multiplayer version of Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. Now, the multiplayer mode of this game was developed at the Ubisoft Annecy studio in France, while the single-player mode was the responsibility of the Shanghai studio. I joined the Annecy team to set up and manage the playtest structure, and it wasn't until later that I also became lead level designer. However, I continued to handle playtesting in parallel. This multiplayer mode was unique because it offered asymmetrical gameplay, with the two sides having different gameplay mechanics. The players on the attacker's side, the spies, enjoyed an infiltration style gameplay. They could hide in the shadow, move silently, climb anywhere. They had access to specific equipment, and they would benefit from a third-person view for a better understanding of the environment. In return, it was tough for them to kill their opponents. The players on the defender's side, we call them the mercenaries, had access to first-person shooter-style gameplay. They had an impressive arsenal, detection equipment, mines, and so on. But they were slow and could only use stairs and floor to move around. The victory conditions in this multiplayer mode were simple. The attackers had to neutralize X consoles out of Y within a limited time, and the defenders had to prevent them from doing so. There was a lot of equipment, and all of it had real value. And tuning the latter was therefore a real challenge for us, and without playtesting, we would have never have succeeded. A good example is the smoke grenade, one of the attacker's accessories. This grenade could only be thrown at the feet of the attackers who activated it. It was designed as a means of defense in the event of an encounter with a mercenary. Once on the ground, the grenade produced a cloud of smoke that blocked the defender's visibility and slowed them down if they dared to pursue the attacker. Faced with such powerful equipment, the defenders had countermeasures, of course. With a gas mask, they could cross the smoke cloud without being slowed, and thermal vision allowed them to see their target through it. That said, since players could only carry 4 pieces of equipment in their loadout, not all defenders systematically equipped a gas mask. As for thermal vision, its narrow cone of vision limited its use against a target moving in a zigzag pattern. So the smoke grenade was a popular accessory among attackers because it was effective in the event of a chance encounter. But during playtesting, we realized that attackers had found a new use for this defensive accessory, making it easier to capture objectives. To capture an objective, an attacker simply had to hack a console while remaining near it for about 10 seconds. This time frame may seem brief, but the operation was very dangerous because the defenders were immediately alerted to the console under attack. Since the attackers lacked lethal weapons, they became target. However, since our maps were primarily interior, access to objectives was via corridors. Our playtesters quickly realized that they could seriously slow down the arrival of defenders and thus capture objective simply by throwing smoke grenades into the access corridors. There was no question of removing the slowdown effect associated with smoke grenades, as attackers greatly appreciated them. However, these grenades must not unbalance the game in their favor. The solution was to adjust the lifespan of the smoke cloud, but finding the right setting proved very tricky. A few seconds too long and the smoke grenades would unbalance the game. A few seconds less and it would become virtually useless to attackers. The correct setting, down to the second, was finally found after numerous playtest sessions in which experienced players played a good 100 games with different settings. Now, for the record, the multiplayer mode in Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow was a huge success. It was also featured in the next two games, Chaos Theory and Double Agents. I, for one, continued my mission until the end of Chaos Theory's development. Now, I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more content. And if you are thrilled about the world of game design, I invite you to explore my online video course on the Udemy platform. It is designed for those of you who want to learn the fundamentals of game design, either to join a team as a game designer or to develop your own game project. You can find the link in the description. Happy game designing!